This is everything I picked up at the yard sales this week. It's not a lot, but it was raining. But we're going to go through it one by one, and we're going to talk about it. Let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at what I picked up this week. Thrifting on Friday, not a whole lot there. My local Goodwill has gotten into the business of taking anything of any value and just sending it off to the auction site. So Goodwill hasn't done anything for me for 2 weeks straight now. But I did go to a little mom and pop shop right near my house, and I picked up this copy of Halloween on Blu-ray. Brand new, still sealed in the shrink wrap. Paid $3 for it. Sells for about $30. Now, it's a slow mover. I don't expect it to sell fast, but you know, I've got storage, as you can see here. I can put it in a bin and wait for it to sell, so I'm in no hurry to sell it. So $3 for $30 is not a bad deal. So that was all I got on Friday, nothing great. Saturday, it rained, but despite the rain, I still did pretty well at yard sales. I'll go through them in the order that I got there. The first one I went to, my wife is a huge Bill Elliott fan. So these Bill Elliott McDonald's 50th anniversary NASCAR glasses I thought she would like. They had $1 a piece on them. I asked if I could get both for $1, and she said sure. She already has this, so I'm just going to sell these on a eBay auction for 99 cents, and they pay shipping, so I'll at least get my money back. Again, the goal is to make money, but the real goal is to not lose money. So again, it's only $1. It's not a big deal, but you know, if I can get my $1 back and make somebody else happy with these, that's what I'll do. So the next sale was interesting. I went to this sale, and they had these HP 12C financial calculators. They had two different ones, one in this case, one in this case. They're both HP cases, and they had their manuals. I thought one of them was a 15C, which if you know anything about HP calculators, 15Cs are worth like $150. She had 15, so this one with the hard shell case, she had $15 on this. I'm like, is 15 the best you can do? And she said, I don't know. I don't know why it's got 15 on it. How about 5? I'm like, okay, I can do 5. So I grabbed it, and as I'm driving away, getting ready to film a pickup video for this, I noticed it was the 12C. So I'm like, okay, didn't want the 12C. The 12C doesn't sell for as much, but I went back, and I'm like, listen, I grabbed the wrong calculator. This is the 12C. I wanted the 15C. Can I swap it out? And she said, sure. So this was a different lady, by the way. The other lady had gone in town. So when I picked up the second one, I saw it was also a 12C. So I don't know where I got the 15C from, but they were both 12Cs. I'm like, well, listen, I said, what I was looking for was the 15C. This is the 12C. You've got two of them. I paid $5 for one. Can I just get both of them for $5 since they're not really as good as the 15C, and at least you don't have to give me my money back? And she was like, that's fine. So I got both of these for $5. That's $2.50 each. They sell for about $20. So I think a $5 spend and a $40 return is not bad. So I did that. The next sale that we went to was, I picked this up for $1. This is Walking Dead Survival Instinct. Not a great game, maybe 10 bucks, but the reason I picked it up was because sitting in a box by the side of the road was this PS2 Slim with a bunch of controllers and cables, and had a sign on it that said free, may not work. Well, even if it doesn't work, I can sell the power cord, I can sell the memory cartridge, I can sell the controllers if I can get them tested. So I figured for free, why not? It was the dirty, I did a short on it yesterday, but it was the dirtiest, nastiest console I've ever picked up. But I brought it home, I cleaned everything up, I tested it, I cleaned the lens, cleaned all the controllers. The only thing that didn't work was one of the PS3 controllers. What she had in there was she had a PS2 wired controller, which works fine. All the buttons work. She had a wired Nyko PS3 controller, which works just fine. And then the wireless PS3 controller did not work. But all in all, this was a decent lot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the PS2 and the controller and the memory card, and I've got about 10 random games from my collection. I'm going to sell that as a lot, and then I'm also going to sell the Nyko PS3 controller. Again, slow mover, but it's a decent controller. It's an off-brand. I'm going to sell that separately. So for a free lot, that's not bad. That's going to be about 80, 90 bucks all in. And then this will probably get me, I'll probably sell this for like 10 bucks, and yeah, if it sells, and then if not, I'll bundle it with an Xbox system later on. And then the next and final sale. This was the big one. This is what I did a short on yesterday. You are never going to find something like this without an ask. They're not just going to put this out. And if they do, it's going to be gone in seconds. So I went to this last yard sale on the way home. This is about 10:30. And I go to the yard sale, nothing fantastic, nothing great. But I ask him, I'm like, do you have any old video games, old Nintendo, Atari, PlayStation, anything like that? And they were like, no, we really don't. And then the kid that was sitting there said, well, Dad, we've got that old NES. And he said, oh, you're not selling that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I started to walk away. He's like, but Dad, we don't ever play it. So he said, well, if you want to sell it, go get it. So I don't know how it turned around, but Dad wound up going in to get it. And I'm having a conversation with the kid, and the kid says, you know, he sold a few things today. And I said, well, how much have you made? He said about $8. I'm like, okay, well, $8 isn't bad. So Dad comes out with this. Dad comes out with the cleanest, nicest, least yellowed NES OG console I've ever seen. It's got one controller, which again, looks in fantastic condition. It's got the orange zapper. There's no duck hunt. I don't know why there's not a duck hunt if they got the zapper. RF cable, and then it came with Kung Fu. It came with Tetris 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Double Dragon. So all of that he brought out. And I said, well, how about 30 bucks for everything? The kid was excited, and he said, done. And I said, Dad, just to be clear, you're okay with me buying all of this from him for $30. I don't want to fight later. If you think it should be more, let me know. He said, hey, if he wants 30 bucks for it. So it turns out the kid actually won this at a raffle. It wasn't something that Dad bought for him, but they played it one time and then they never played it again. So Dad was fine him selling it 30 bucks. I bought it for 30 bucks, but then I called the kid over later and I said, you made $8 before, you made $30 on this. I said, how about we make it an even 40? I'll give you 32 for all of this, which is still a great deal. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to sell the console separately. I might bundle in Kung Fu with it. I'm not sure yet. I do have a couple of bases loaded games over there for when I got a console to sell, bases loaded and bases loaded 2. I may throw those in as a bundle. I may sell it separately, but I'm going to sell the console. I'm going to sell the zapper separately, and then I'm going to sell each one of the games separately. So I put up on the screen all the different prices of comps when things have sold. So that's it. So that's everything I got this week. I hope you found this interesting. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and do one of these every week after my yard sale run so you guys can kind of see what I find, what my thought process is for buying and selling and things like that. And that's it. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.